Now, okay, so welcome, Gulden. Can we hear you okay? Are you able to?
Hi,
Okay.
yes.
Good.
Hi,
Hey, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you, Shane?
I'm good. Would you remind me where you are in the world? I don't think you're in
Cyprus. I'm in
Cyprus.
Cyprus.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. So we're over here lamenting about the Irish and UK weather turning quite nasty for November. It's probably quite beautiful in Cyprus, and maybe the south of France too.
I mean, it's still 26 degrees during the day, very sunny. So, yeah, very, very different from UK.
Okay. Or if there's any excuse you can think of to get us all over to you for a workshop or something, let us know. We could do it a blast of sunshine. So yeah, so let's kind of. Oh, I'm sorry, Randa. Welcome, Randa. Just before I've gone into the format, how are you doing, Randa? Can you hear us and interact? Okay.
Hi, good morning, all. How are you?
Good. Randa, would you like to tell us where you're coming from? I think I might guess. Where are you in the
Sorry,
world?
I cannot hear you well.
Canterbury. Or you can't hear very well. Sorry, Randa. Can you hear me very well? No. No problem if you can't interact. I was just getting to know who's in the room, getting us all to know each other a bit better. Okay, so thank you all so much for joining me. So let's really get into it. So we're going to use the hour to, well, even before, yeah, okay, run this back. Even before we use the hour to start the planning, I think the most important thing we can do right now is to reflect on your wins, achievements, your pluses. Let's think of the good stuff because they are in there. We're all dealing with something called a negative bias. So we're probably more aware of the things we didn't get done or we wish we had got done in November. So let's just spend a little bit of time. Have you got a piece of pen and paper? Reflecting, and even if it's small stuff, don't wait for the massive things. For the human brain, it pretty much, or for what it does for our positive psychology, doesn't really matter. So wins. That's a little bit of time reflecting, and maybe we can share wins or achievements. It doesn't have to be from October, but if you can reflect on a few of them, it's previous to now. But I think the more recent stuff will be helping us with the theme of momentum. Okay, does anybody? Yeah, good. Okay, yeah, Golden was here. Who else? Is anybody else here in Momentum in October? Okay, so I think Golden, you might be the only one with me. So your goal was simple for October to get the website up. Didn't get it done yet, but hey, baby steps. So you got started, and was getting started new. Was something previously you were putting off, and now you got stuck into it, and you're maybe.
Yes, I was scared, so I was putting it off.
Yeah. That's why we need coaches or even free coaching sessions, is to take that. Oh, yes. Why not now?
Even I gathered the courage to do it, and I started. I got my template, and I started writing things down. And yeah, there was progress, so I'm happy with that. Baby steps.
Good. Well, that's what momentum is all about, is like maintaining momentum. If we keep maintaining momentum, we'll get there in the end. And there might be times we don't get as much done.
Yes.
So well done.
Super. I think the energy. Thank you.
Sorry, Gulden, you broke up there for me anyhow. Could you repeat that one? Okay, Gulden, maybe. Oh, yeah, yeah, you are. You're back.
It's okay. Can you
We're,
hear?
I'm really struggling to hear you. The sound is very warbled. So perhaps you could put in the chat box, Gulden, or you could wait until
Me
you.
now?
You keep going now. Try again.
Shane.
Yes, I'll try that now. That's good. No, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to go to the chat box, Gulden, until the connection improves or something there.
Yeah, I was gathered the courage because I saw everybody just. Yeah.
You had the courage. You saw everybody. Okay. If you're going to clarify in the chat box, I'm really sorry I didn't get the details there. But well done on the progress and for putting that kind of intention into November, October, and getting started. Anybody else got wins they want to share? Wins, achievements, and this is I'm going to make sure there's a very supportive environment. This is where we have a chance to go, yes, and even if it might seem small for you, it's not about being competitive. It's just about acknowledging and owning our own wins, because that's what we need for the positive energy to bring forward. Anybody else like to share recent wins, achievements, big and small? Tina.
Well, I've got a couple of personal wins. One is that I've lost weight.
Well done, excellent.
A goal of mine, and obviously as a health and wellness coach and a nutrition coach, it's good. I want to be a good role model, so that's a definite win.
Yeah, huge.
I also went to see Tim Spector last week, Professor Tim Spector, who obviously is big in the nutrition world at the moment. So it was just a delight to get to see him talk live on stage, which was incredible. So that was a real win for me, because I was thinking, shall I push the button, shan't I? And then I thought, oh, just get on with it. Just do it. Instead of procrastinating and going, oh, I've missed it, I could have gone. I did what my daughter is often saying to me, just not spontaneous enough, mother. So I did it, and I felt great. And again, it's all tools in the toolkit, isn't it, for clients as well, so. And just from a professional perspective, I met last weekend with a lady that owns a really gorgeous setup of rooms with holistic therapies and some psychological therapies. And I went to look at using some of the space in that room, which is really local to me, beautiful place. And I've joined that little team of people in that place. So starting in a couple of weeks' time, you'll be able to use that space for clients and just for the job development, really. So I'm really excited about that. And it's also spurred me on to make sure that my website and everything is better than it currently is. So it's been a real win, that has, in terms of progress for the business. So I'm really
good stuff. That's progress, momentum. Again, I can really hear steps. Your sister helped, the spontaneous snapping ourselves out of our own habitual ways of being. We all can become enslaved to our robotic nature. So well done, and taking action. And I think that's, it also, when you're, it brings that freshness. You went out to see Tim Spector getting out in the real world, and it's kind of something I miss, and energizes and keeps the spirits high.
Definitely.
And weight loss. What was the third thing you said?
The room.
The room, yeah, so important to have a good environment.
So I just saw this room advertised, or rooms advertised. It's something I've been looking for. It was like fate, really. I've just been looking for some space that really had meaning for me as well. I didn't want to just use a space that didn't float my boat. But environment's a massive thing for me. I really wanted it to be right. And as soon as I walked in and met the owner of the building and talked about the ethos of what she wants to do in that building, it just worked straight away. We both clicked. The room was perfect. And so it's a bit costly, but I just think it's going to be, in the long run, a really good, utilization of funds. And it's really good.
Excellent. Well done, Tina. Excellent. So big progress, and we're focusing so we can harness that and then project it forward. So Emil and Amelie, or Anya, either of you had any wins that you want to share, or victory achievements?
Yeah.
Please.
I'm gonna start to cough. Sorry, there's a lose there, but anyway. I retired in the last month
Oh,
from my public service job as a primary teacher.
bad news for the school, but good news perhaps for you.
Well, actually, that was a win in a way.
Okay.
A fabulous affirmation. Sorry, my voice is gone.
Take your time.
Sorry, I've got a cold.
Mm.
I may have to give up.
Sorry to hear that.
Right. But anyway, no, it was very positive, you know, but I want to focus. I'm a child development therapist, so I wanted to focus on that.
Mm.
And within that, it means developing a new structure in my world. So when I've always been tied into somebody else's timetable,
Yes.
I now have to learn to establish my own, and as somebody with very poor self-discipline, to stick to it, you know. So hence, definitely need some coaching support.
Mm.
I know my targets, let's say. I've sat down and worked with that and that kind of thing. But the thing is, I do lack a certain self-discipline and a certain structure. And
Okay, and you're going to keep your focus on the wins for now.
Focus on the win. So anyway, I suppose in identifying what I need, I suppose that's a win. Made a good few decisions in the last few months. So now it's time to focus. So I'm starting that now and starting to write lists. So as somebody who couldn't find pen and paper in the right place because I had so much going on, it's a big thing for me now to have put the pen to paper and to have started the lists.
Yeah, huge.
So to have started the lists, redefining myself, and acknowledging my need for support, I think that's really, you know, a win.
Yeah, super. Well, you know, children development, it sounds like such an important role. So blessings on your path there and on that new stage. It sounds like it's very much at a retirement, a closing down of one, but just immediately you've got your eyes fixed on something new.
I've had too many balls in the air for the last while.
You've had too many goals.
Balls in the air.
Balls in the air. Yeah. And then that can lead to disorganization, which leads to cost you more. And then so love you. It probably made the biggest step, and without the coaching, it's just like, okay, getting it out and making decisions, getting it on paper, and it starts to feel more manageable. So well done to you. And yes, structure. This is to help us all put a little bit more clarity into things and get better more from the month ahead. It's a metaphor I might use in a minute, Anya. Thank you, though. Keep reflecting on the win. We're talking, I know there's challenges. We have a section. Sorry, Anya.
I'm sorry that I do have to run. I just hear a car outside. So again, this is, you know, you can see my need for coaching here.
Well, every month, you know, I've committed to these, to run them every month for now. And
yeah, I look forward to the recording. And ladies, lovely to meet you. And I'm so sorry to have to run off like this. You know, I wish I had not made a prior arrangement and had spotted this session earlier. You know, Shane, thank you very much, and it's lovely to see you.
Thank you so much for being here, Anya, and catch recording. I'll try and get dates out to you sooner for the next one.
Thank you for sharing. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye, Anya. Amelie, would you like to share anything for your wins, your positive achievements, etc.?
Sure. So I'm quite new as a coach, looking for my first client.
Okay.
But I did manage to get, I think, a good structure around who's my ideal client.
Oh, great.
I have a website up now. So basically, I worked as an agile coach, and I'm used to working with entrepreneurs and CEOs and executives and how to be more efficient and how to help the team, either if it's on site or remote, and how to be more in control of the daily task and weekly task, and making sure the client is happy if it's a few-month project, a few years project, or something like that. So a little win is that I have an 8-week program for executives and CEOs of business owners.
Oh, wow.
So the program is written. All I need now is to figure out how to put it out there and how to find, you know, like a small group. Maybe I don't really want to do one-on-one sessions for this one.
Okay.
I want to have like an interactive group.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just about figuring out how to do the social media and how to get like a starting date as well for the program. Say the program starts at that time, and off we go.
Off we go.
Yeah, so I have this going on, and I also managed to start a collaboration with breathwork and meditation coaches, because I realized that I worked with lots of executives and they're always stressed. So once you give them the tools to be in control of their agenda and everything that they have, like, and I don't know, there's a lot going on in a weekly schedule.
They have a full day, a full week. They have a lot to
Exactly.
get in,
So there's the corporate parts that I can handle to help to guide them, but there's also the meditation and wellness aspect. So we're combining our skills between like 3 coaches and figured out the best program for our target clients.
Oh, wow, okay.
And they're a bit more aware of social media and getting the word there. So I'm kind of learning from them as well.
Leaning on their strengths,
Exactly. Yeah. So I have like the setup more or less done. I just need to go for the final step now.
Yeah, well done, well done.
Thank you.
And you know, I mentor some new coaches or fairly new coaches or coaches who weren't that new, but just haven't really now want to make it go further. And it's something that I learned. You got to get those packages and get the product clear before you go to the market. And then I think a lot of us fall down. We're a coach and we want to promote ourselves, but you're doing it right. And you're leaning on, you're getting the comment. You know, you're our target audience. So it's fun. It sounds great. And you're a fairly new coach, Amelie?
New coach, yes.
Who did you train with? Do you mind me asking?
It's just life experience, really. I worked with startups. I worked with as an agile coach in corporations. So I've coached executives and directors within corporations.
Yeah. Okay. So now you're going to come out on your own brand.
Exactly. So I prefer being on my own and having more more directors to coach. Rather than being in one company. I think it's more fun to have different presence and the community around. So.
Lovely. It's lovely too. I think it's important for us to remember to let fun guide us, you know, because, you know, for careers and things, if we really enjoy it more, it's just better for everyone. So super work and best of luck. And I think you've got a lot of really good stuff there. So just that the last step, you know, getting it to the market. There's a lot in that as well, but it sounds like you're in good hands.
Thanks. I just need the first client to get started.
Yes. Yeah. And then you have momentum. You got to keep it going. So good luck with that. Okay, so that's the wins, and if you've been keep your mind focused. We only really want to what I want to say is remind yourself there of 2 or 3 wins, how good it felt, especially with ones if you pushed hard or like you had to push through resistance, like Tina, to or if you're starting new, like building the website, because on the other side of the resistance, there's usually like a celebration, a joy, and a relaxation. So remember that. And now let's cast our eyes to the end of November. And if you're willing, let's do a little bit of envisioning. And you're going to envision, you know, what the successful outcome of November looks like. And then from that, we'll do some kind of more structured coaching to make a bit of a plan around it. But this time it's kind of blue sky thinking. So all you ladies have to do is relax, and guys, if you're listening, and just first of all start thinking, what do you really want to get out of this month? Is this November? Just think of like 1st December. What would you really like to have gotten from yourself in November? So wow, that was a great month, and now I'm in this. Just starting December, and it feels like I did well there. I got a good result for myself. Just kind of in bringing that kind of focus. And what is it that I really want for myself this month? And then I'd like to, for those of you who are willing, you can kind of relax even further. Maybe put the pen down for now and just go with your magnificent mind and your imagination And I want you to put, you're no longer limited by time. I want you to imagine that you're just there at the start of December. Perhaps you're momentum December, or perhaps you're just in the early days of December, and you go, yeah, that was a great month for me. Or I got a really good result from that. So I want you to step into that future you. Imagine you're there now and you're just thinking, yeah, wow, that was a great month for me. And there's a satisfaction there. Just tap into those feelings, get a nice sense of those feelings. And just if you get any feeling associated with that, put it in the chat box to help us all tune in. Are you feeling light? And check out the energies in the body as well. And it's like, yep, that was a great month for me. What does it feel like to have maybe got on a little bit more progress, hit some targets, got that first client, got the next person to get the next client, be working in that room for Tina, or building, get a website finally. What is it that's going to be for you? So you're putting yourself in November, it's done. You've put in the hard work, you've got there, and November is complete, and so is the tasks or the actions, and now you're there. So just drop down into your body. What does it look like? What does it feel like? How do you know that that was a great month for you? So that's the question, is to prompt you. How do you know, or what is the evidence, or what's done or not done? So you're going to go, yeah, that was a great month because. Proud and beautiful. So it's like, this is why sometimes we stretch ourselves or challenge ourselves. It's for that future moment of, yeah, satisfaction. I'm proud, I'm excited. It's the same as fear a lot of time. It's just a different way of looking at the challenge ahead. So sometimes it's excitement is a beautiful energy to have to help us keep pushing on. Yeah, I think so you're there in the future, and it was a brilliant month for you. What made it a great month for you? What made it was because of this, and there was this experience, or I hit this target, or I finally got that done, or now I've lost more weight, or I'm more comfortable in my clothes, or I have more energy, whatever it is, personal, health, wellness, business, relationship, family. Has everybody got something? Does everybody feel it's kind of tangible? Just give me a nod if you kind of feel, yeah, there's a November there. Beautiful. Okay. I can't see everybody. Paul, if you join me, we're just doing an envisioning. Paul, if we're envisioning if you're in the beginning of December right now, you're feeling fantastic because you've made November a great month for you. So what was it that made November great for you? That's the kind of prompt we're in. And anybody want to share any kind of energies that don't get specific, but yeah, this is proud and excited, joyful, excitement. Anyone else? Lovely. Just to get into the energy of it. And then now the question is, okay, what did you do more of than you were typically doing right now? What did you do more of in November that made November so great? Can you just, yeah. Did you take more action? Did you get more sleep? Did you make more phone calls? Did you push through a barrier? Did you put down on your coffee or do more outside walks despite the rain? What made it a great month? What did you do more of to make that month great, to make November work for you?
To me, I think it would be to have that experience of discovery calls and onboarding clients, because I'm quite new to it. So having the opportunity to have more discovery calls, and even if I have 2 clients, like one-on-one clients for a 2-month program, then I would be really happy, because I need that process of really understanding the client and saying, okay, I could see how I can help, and being able to share this.
Very good.
So that would be one of the the
A few of
important
those.
aspects I'm looking for.
Super. So more discovery calls, more of those that chance to connect
Mm.
and have maybe perhaps one-on-one clients. Super. Anybody else want to share a text box? Come in live, a small group we can handle. Schedule more quiet, focus time. Okay. Golden, schedule it and then turn up, put your bum in a chair and get started. Once you've that done, the rest is easy in my experience. But good, it's getting clear. We'll put a structure in it later. So it's what, yes, Tina, have you got something you're doing more of?
Yeah, I think when I'd feel a lot more validated, I think one of the things I've thought is because I changed careers, and that's been a tricky thing, sort of that feeling of being a bit imposter syndrome-ish
Yeah.
type thing. So I think this, at the end of this month, at the beginning of December, I think I would feel a lot more validated, a lot happier, just more in control, I think, job and health. So, and I think because I would have been more focused, I think I haven't really been that focused, and I think November, at the end of November, I will have felt more focused, and that will sort of give me that feeling of
Super.
control, being more validated, etc.
Cool. We'll look at the focus areas next. So that sounds like improving focus, maybe perhaps also for Golden. Excellent. Good. Discovery calls might be an area for you, Amelia. Golden, if you want to use the chat box, it might be more reliable. Oh, you are using it. Sorry, it's Paula. I know you came in late. Did you manage to get a kind of a vision for November and a sense of what has to change between now and there to get there?
Hi. Yeah. So sorry, joining a bit late. So that's also part of it. I've just felt like I've had quite a few sort of commitments, mixture of work and life. And like Christina, I've also been through kind of going through a sort of career, like a career transition.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I've obviously this isn't my first momentum, so it's I think my second one now. So for me, really maybe having the space, clearing some space in my diary as well to actually make a go of making the start, which is what we talked about last time. So not I feel like I feel braver now to make. I saw something the other day, and it was about this person saying they had writer's block and they didn't know what to do, and I think they were just trying to be perfect. And I think there's a bit of me that's a bit of a perfectionist. So I won't do something unless I think it's going to be completely right, and if it's not, then I won't do it, or I sort of procrastinate. So I think that side I've been working on, just doing, not thinking too much, overthinking, and just getting on with it. So that would be for me, if I can clear my some of the commitments I've got, and maybe make space to do what I've set out, to do that. So yeah.
Super.
Yeah.
Time management, focus, clearing the decks, and then showing up like Golden states, showing up for yourself. And with but well done. What I'm hearing there is that the internal barrier of, oh, it's got to be perfect, you're pushing through that by yourself, and you're just getting it down. Done is better than perfect.
Yeah.
And another little one-liner for that kind of perfectionism. This is for the coaches as well. Tell a perfectionist to settle for excellence. It's a little bit of a refrain to kind of soften up that. Got to be perfect. Okay, so if you do you guys, gals, I should call you, know about the self-saboteur test?
No.
Okay. So there's Golden, you're going to have to use the chat box. I'm afraid it's just not coming across. So I'm going to find that link to the self-saboteur test and put it in the box. So just be aware that we all have these ways that we hold ourselves back, we trip ourselves up, we prevent ourselves from moving forward. So the what's it called again? So by knowing your saboteur, one of them is a perfectionist. One of mine is the people pleaser. That used to be a bigger problem than now. Might be control, or the more stressed you become. Here we go. Positive intelligence. So anyway, simple test you can do for yourself, but it kind of gives you your top 1 or 2. And then it's great for clients if you have them as well, because they can just save time, and then they can get a greater understanding with you of, and you get a better understanding to do the work for you and what their main challenges are. So if you're a perfectionist, etc., just those are the things to set up, get it done. It's brilliant. And if you really come up against resistance, get some coaching. Okay, so we're doing more. What about doing less of? So sometimes it's not just so much about I got to do more of this. It's like, I got to do a bit like the perfectionism. What are you doing less of? What do you envision from the beginning of December, looking back in November, it's going like, oh yeah, what was I doing less of that also contributed to me being here now? For me, yeah, I was surprised just how much, I kind of admitted my phone was becoming just ridiculous, just little glances, and it's like, it's always a good reason to pick up your phone is something important, right? So definitely I'm cut way back and more conscious of my phone and just using it, not just for social media, but just looking up for prompts. So things like that, things that maybe take away from your focus, what perhaps takes you away from your focus area, like that mental clarity showing up, perfection. Anyone got any insights as to, I got to be doing less of this. This is not moving me forward.
I think for me would be less planning.
Okay.
As an agile coach, it seems a bit weird, but I feel like I'm working on structures and programs and planning a lot of things, and how do I do social media and like networking and channels to find clients and all of that. And I just wanted to have it like sorted so then I could just focus on clients. If that makes sense. It's
absolutely, yeah.
It's like time consuming as well.
Yeah. Now, so can I offer, from my perspective as a coach, just a kind of a strategy, perhaps, or some of my
please, yes,
advice. So if you're really good at doing something, get good at one, and then it's like, okay, consider that a stronger area. So then you need to do the opposite to bring more balance in. So if you feel you got the planning down, it's like, okay, so then it's the opposite of the planning is, so think of the phrase, prepared for everything, but ready for nothing. And then it's okay. So sometimes if somebody's really good at preparing and planning, it's like, oh, but then it's in the moment, fluidity, the flexibility, the adjusting, so these discovery calls would do that for you, Amelie. Things like that, live, and just kind of having to think on the spot and having, to be pushed outside of your structure, etc., or temporarily, and then you get good on your feet.
Okay.
So doing less of was the prompt. Can you see yourself doing less of that, and of course then replacing it with something else?
I do, because I think it's linked with the fear of failure and not being ready for anything that might happen. I mean, I'm an agile coach, so obviously, it comes with a profession, but as coaching, it feels it has to be a bit more organic and not too strict. So it does make sense. Yeah,
it's like you're experienced coach, but you're experienced on site in a particular setting, so it's probably getting some experience that is completely different than that. It would put you, oh God, my usual things don't work here, or I have to let go of this, and then you get really confident in yourself and what's in there, because we forget what's already in us. So good luck with that. Anybody else can clarity on what they're doing less of in November that makes it so great when you come into December? Anybody's got a tendency to stay up too late, longer evenings now. Watch out for Netflix, Amazon Prime, whatever accounts. They're going to have some blockbusters, really addictive. Next session, not really a problem for me now, but in the past I would have had to fight, that urge to watch the next episode rather than go to bed. Less off. Overthinking, comparing myself to others. Yes, okay. I saw some coaches, social media, and doubt. Yeah, this is a thing. new coaches, very new coaches, we go online, we go, oh yeah, it's inspiration. And then we start comparing ourselves to people who've been in the game a whole lot longer, who have just had, you know, incredible coaches or have incredible experiences. And then we see the gap between where we are now and even greater than we thought it was before. So compare, it's a beautiful quote I have from, isn't it Jim Rohn? The only person you should compare yourself to is the former you. Really, sometimes you hear these things, but go back every time you catch yourself comparing. Oh yeah, compare yourself now to who you were yesterday, or to you were at the start of last month, or what you, and that really is efficient because you're just selecting the data that's appropriate to you. And then, you know, there's a beautiful book, The Four Agreements. Anyone here know the Four Agreements? I think mentioned in the Health and Wellness Coaching course. So beautiful little book. It's called A Book of Toltec Wisdom. It's a short little book. There's 4 agreements in it, and one of them is don't compare yourself to anyone. These are kind of 4 guideline agreements you could make to help guide your life. Maybe I get them all. I usually fall down I get 3 out of 4. So always do your best is one of them. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Be impeccable with your word. Can anyone remember the 4th one? For some reason, my brain thinks in the 3. Okay, there's a 4th agreement, and that's the mystery agreement. You'll have to look up for yourself, but you remember that one even better. Super. So you're doing less of. So getting clear on what you're doing, more of doing less of. And once we're clear on that, it's like, okay, now let's start chunking down into more of an action plan. So we want to get clear on your focus areas. You can just start with one, but if you already have them, you know, mapped out, like, okay, I need to, you know, in terms of your health, perhaps your business, in terms of your family, your relationship, your well-being. Just think of the different areas. Like, for example, some of the focus areas we already heard was improving focus. So, excuse the pun. And then the other one was, what are we doing less? Oh yeah, that kind of perfectionism and the comparing self. So think, what is that? Are we doing? What is that as a focus area? Is it mindset? Is it mindfulness? Is it strategic thinking? Just think of it kind of a term you might consider. Yeah, that's that box. We're trying to put these things in boxes now to start tidying it up. You only have one, it's absolutely fine. We're looking for a few clear actions and agreements for yourself. So there's a few of them there for around, they're kind of like career related, clarity of that kind of scheduling, time, discovery calls, etc. But there could be, anyone got a kind of another personal, what about you, Tina? Is it weight loss? Have you got to maintain that? You make great progress.
Yeah, so I've got a plan that, or I've got a goal, which is to lose a certain amount of weight by the time I get to a big O birthday in January. So I'm on target for that. It's very slow, but I've recognised that it's slow, and I'm just keeping going with that. As long as I don't gain, I'm happy. As long as I'm progressing.
Come again, lovely.
So it is, and it's not just about me really. I just want to be a good role model, you know, for in the job, and I just think it's really important to me if I am doing, you know, certainly from the expert side of my nutrition and lifestyle coaching, you know, role. I want to be able to show that I'm using that expert knowledge for my own gain, in order to be a role model for clients as well.
Super.
So it serves me well to lose weight in all manner of ways. You know, my own health, but also professionally. It's great. So that is, so I'm doing more of that. Definitely. Yeah.
Cool. But my point being, I was actually, I may also, if you have a focus area like Tina, she's already kind of done work in this. She's got clear. She's got a plan. She's got knows her why, her motives. Start just that you keep that in a box, and then maybe there's something new you thought of today, Christina or Tina, and that could go in another box. Or maybe that you just working on existing, I call them boxes, you know, focus areas. Just putting a structure in it. So good, Tina. It could be a matter of just keeping doing what you're doing, but keeping it under, I call it keeping it on the coaching radar. So sometimes we're doing great and we have momentum and everything's working great, but we let it slip off the radar, and then life happens. A long weekend, a holiday, a sickness, tiredness, stress, and then it falls. And you go, huh, a few weeks ago I was on a really good buzz there. I was really doing well. And then I just seem to have stopped. Very easy to fall off the wagon and have a relapse. But really it's in behavioral change. We just haven't hit adoption of the new behavior yet. So back to the basics in terms of coaching. Good. Okay. So in terms of, we have personal focus here, maybe business as well. I think business is coming in strong today. More clients, refining your niche. How am I going to put this together? Do I need to upskill? Content creation, messaging. I think Amelie had done great work on her offer or her package. Great investment in your time. Maybe you need to work on that. Just think of things like that. In terms of personal, we have your health, but energy is a good one. Do you feel like you have enough energy to, especially through November, going to be dark, dreary days ahead. Maybe not in Cyprus, maybe not in south of France, but for us. So keeping the energy up, movement. I spend a lot of time at my desk now. I got to break it up or my body will pay. Don't take things personally. Thank you, Tina. The book, Paula, is 4 Agreements.
Thank you.
It is a super little book, and it's a nice little short one, so you can get a lot of wisdom fast, and then try the rest of your life to embed the wisdom. Now we have movement, family. Okay, so we have got your focus areas kind of selected, so we can chunk down. Want to separate them out first, and then we go, okay, right now we're talking about barriers. Who's aware of a barrier that, oh yeah, you might bump into, or you can kind of anticipate that, yeah, that could be a problem. Think of your actions now. So I'm not thinking, think of where you want to get to, think of the focus area you're working on. Is there already, if you're already aware of that area, you get pushback. Resistance is just absolutely part of being a human being. So my approach is to bring it into the light, know thy enemy. So getting clear, okay, what has the potential to prevent you from getting to where you're trying to get to? What could get in your way?
Complacency gets in my way.
Complacency, okay.
All the time. Oh, look, I've lost this amount of weight, blah, blah. Oh, look at me, I've got a website.
Yeah.
That's great. Oh, lovely. It's all like, I know damn well it's not going to come all my way, but I think, well, I've done it now.
Yeah.
As if no further work is required. And I know down in my head that that's not right, but I still allow that to, it doesn't matter if I have a cream cake today. But that's my mentality throughout my whole everything. It's not, it is a really good illustrator of how I am in all aspects of my life, professional, personal, etc. Yeah, complacency is thing, like I think you just said about, you get so far and then I'm no longer coach like, I forget all of that. And I've done this, I'm all right. A Magnum, yes, of course I'll have a Magnum, no problem. Oh yes, I've got my.
I'll burn it off later. That choice.
Yes, it's like, now what do I do? Yeah, it's just a thing. That is a real barrier for me. I've got to get through.
So bring it into it's like bring it onto the light now. Complacency is a challenge of mine, and this is going to be potentially to scupper me up, and we're kind of trying to move that to action soon. Yeah. Anybody else got maybe know your barrier really well, or maybe it's like, yeah, it could be like a logistical one. It's like, I've got a lot happening. I'm writing a course. I've got too much happening this month. I'm trying to stay sane and keep maintain the work that I have ahead. So that's organization, and it's prioritizing for me. What else are barriers? We talked about focus and kind of, I call it deep work time. So time when you're at your desk, perhaps. What was the comment earlier on?
So mine is
correct.
Shane. Sorry, one of my barriers is you kind of mentioned it a bit. I suppose it's time management, and I
Mm,
think I've already made a decision to stop doing two things in particular that I just feel like I can't give it that time anymore. And
yeah.
I think also it may be something that I might come back to. But I think for now, I feel like I need to let go of some things to make room to
Yeah.
do. And I think sometimes it's just giving yourself the permission to do that. So I feel like I was just maybe I'm worrying that I was going to get some sort of burnout.
Mm,
Like and sort of juggling family life as life and family and everything as well. So
yeah.
yeah.
You know, I can really identify with that. I have a tendency to try and hold on to roles or to responsibilities, and then you start something off new and it starts to grow. And I guess to a point, I call it the deathing. So you're giving birth to something new and trying to grow it, but there's a dying off of things that you're in the cycle and kind of are taking up the energy. So there's a natural cycle of dying off to allow things to come in, start growing again. And I find that very challenging as well. And I've become much more conscious of it. And now I look forward, oh God, yeah, that's a sign. Letting go of that is a sign that I'm ready for this. So good, Paula. Good awareness. Okay, oh yeah, so Golden, it's schedule more focused time to work on. Oh, sorry, that was earlier on, the business. Yeah, that kind of focus, a lot of distractions these days. Anybody here notice the distractions? You try and do some focus time. Okay. So how do you protect yourself from distractions? Well, do what I did yesterday. Actually 2 days ago, I dropped my phone in the sink. This is what my screen looks like now. That's not going to take up too much of my working day today or personal day. So you could smash your phone purposely or unintentionally or unintentionally. But what are the distractions? You're just getting clear on the barriers. Bring them into the focus. And then we can now start thinking about, right, what is our clear action steps? Just get really clear on action steps and keep them simple. We have a tendency to take on too much sometimes. Get really prioritized from what you've been thinking about, listening to. And I'm going to just, as you're writing, continue. I'm going to mention the delineation or a definition. So I have a term called, you have your performance goals, your achievement goals, but also there's something called process goals. And I think process goals are really powerful because there's something where we set a goal of, 3 times this week for 30 minutes, I'm going to get my heart rate up, or, I'm going to commit to doing 5 sessions of yoga in the morning, 10-minute sessions of yoga every day next week. If you can get something like that, I'm going to go to bed before 10:30 at night, 5 times this week. So it's something you do regularly. They're not as sexy and they're not as, hype, but my goodness, the returns on investment of one of those actions, if you do it over and over and over and over, by the end of the year, wow, Can anyone think of an action that would seem quite small, but the accumulation of those actions have really paid off? That Amelie.
To me, even if I don't have motivation, I force myself to work out every second day. So I have like a program made by a trainer, and so I stick to it, even if I don't want to do it.
Well done, yeah.
I just say, just stay on the mat and do it, even if I do half of the program, but at least I showed up.
Yeah.
And I do the same for breath work as well, which I discovered this year. It's just like amazing for mental, the soul, for everything. It's just amazing. So even though the schedule is busy, I say I need that time for myself to do it.
Yeah, good. So that's kind of the, so it sounds like you're really, that's structure. And is there accountability coming from the personal trainer, or is it just, do they just give you and yourself accountable to the program?
I give accountability to my future self because I know where I want to head, and I say I don't want to disappoint that person who's coming and building herself.
Lovely.
So that's how I do it.
Yeah, nice bit of mindset there that'll suit some of us. Not wanting to disappoint your future self. Lovely. Okay. Because we're trying to encourage self-accountability, and sometimes we just could do with a personal trainer, someone for in the interim until we get there. So well done. That's big, and just sticking to the program. Then it's like, this is the thing. The first, but once it falls into place, it can't. We do kind of, we are kind of robotic in nature. Our bodies like these kind of consistency, and like the circadian rhythm. If we get up at the same time every morning is very good for the body. If we do it every different, it throws it out. So getting some kind of consistent routines in also then becomes automatic behavior, and your unconscious mind starts to do stuff for you, and you're just on the mat and you're doing exercise and it's done. Rather than, oh, I really have to get back to my exercise plan, and I've left it too late, and we waste so much energy. So beautiful.
And
Process goal is going to be a good one.
And it's not linked to motivation. It's it's the
routine. It's
yeah,
super. Okay, yeah. We want to get it, and then we can harness the motivation we do have for taking on other things. Lovely stuff. Anybody else? Anybody need help getting chunking right down to really clear? So it's not vague. You know exactly what you're doing, perhaps when, with who, how, for how long, at what intensity. These are the kind of questions as a coach I ask. Who are you going to do it with? When? For how long? What time? For what duration? What intensity? There's a lot of specifying that can make it really clear now. And when the more specific an intended action or goal is, when we go to do it, it's almost it feels like it's already been done. That's a really good advantage of putting the work in, like in a session like this. Like, okay, yeah. So specific actions. Anybody there yet? You know, put in the chat box a clear agreement, sorry, a clear action or a process goal, like I was talking about. That will, you know, by the end of the month, you might have done, say, 15, 20 times, something 20 times or 30 times you did every day. Or maintain the work you're already doing. Like Emily has her program, Breathwork Fitness.
I think something I'm really struggling with is my website. I really like my website. It's nice. And then yesterday I thought, oh, I'm going to be starting at this thing and they're going to be advertising my website and everything.
Yeah.
Right. La, la, la. And then foolishly, I've no idea how I did it. I set all the color and everything and the font to like a default factory setting and lost everything. I didn't lose my work, but I lost the color, the whole thing. And I just thought, oh my God. But instead of then just going, it's fine, you can manage it. It just, you know what the colours were vaguely, you know what the font is. I started then fiddling about with it. And then going back to what you were saying earlier on about being, you know, like this self-sabotage, this, I'm sure that's what I'll come out as, the person trying to be perfect all the time so you can't move to the next step. So that's my biggest goal really to work on.
Okay.
Is to try and just refocus on the website and what I'm actually going to do within that, rather than say work on the website for 2 hours.
So now let's get specific, Bettina. Is there, and it doesn't have to be a certain time of the week, but like by the end of the week, I will have done at least an hour, a half an hour, something that, or you could go every Tuesday at 2 o'clock. I have an hour for my website. So people work differently, but specify, and then working my website is like, it's so vast. It used to put me off. So it's like, I'm going to update the title of my website. I'm going to find the right fonts and just focus on color. So get specific. And the more specific we are, the easier it'll be. Okay, I'm sitting down now. It's 2 o'clock. It's Tuesday. I'm doing my website. Your brain knows it's much easier to settle into. It's normally we fall down with, we think we're specific, but we're not. So getting the why, what, where, when, how kind of questions in. Super. We're coming up in the end of the hour. We have actions. As everybody get their actions down, you got a kind of an action plan. You really want to be leaving, if you can at all, with that written. That's a nice return, I would suggest, on your time invested. And thank you all for showing up. After that, you know, who's going to help you with this? Do you need any support? Do you perhaps you could let someone know? You set yourself a personal goal.
Keep free
to do get your website up or something, or perhaps you could get a walking buddy, a gym buddy, a professional support. Maybe there's something big like the website, maybe you got to reach out and find someone to help you with that. Just think of the support you might need, because that's often a barrier that we don't think, and then we go to do it. We try and do it ourselves and it doesn't work. Or it would be just so much easier with support. And then accountability. You don't want to disappoint your future version of you. So are you accountable enough to yourself, or could you bring in a little bit of extra accountability? You can stick it in the chat box if you like, and we'll all support you. And I can even take a note for next momentum if you want, and we can add in lots of accountability. So, and this is a good test. Are you ready for the accountability? Because all the work you've been doing before now is like, okay, yeah, and now accountability. Oh, what are you feeling inside your body as you go? Ooh, if I said everybody's going to now put in a chat box the actions that you're going to commit to, what do you feel in your body? You go, yeah, get it down there. I'll feel released. Now I'm accountable. Or you go, ooh, I'd like some wiggle room. That's a good gauge of where you are. And Amelia, and I think I'm struggling with Amelie. So
like Emily, but Amelie.
Amelie. So sorry. Yeah. Did you have a thought there that I thought you were coming in, or you wanted something to share?
I think that's a difficult one for me, because the support I need right now is understanding where to get the clients and how to create that funnel that could lead to more clients, well, the first clients really. So this is like the little part I'm struggling with, on how to get it done, how to get it started.
Yeah. Okay, so then the action might be turning, we're in terms of readiness to change, you're in the preparation stage rather than the action stage. So it's preparing. Who would I need? What kind of support would I need? What kind of clarity? What would I? So you're preparing, but there's action steps in the preparation. Yeah, I need to spend some time reviewing, finding some more support. I need to, what is the action that's relevant to now? Does that help, Emily?
Because you have like social media managers and lead generation managers and all of that. Like, which one is the best? Or I think it's analyzing a little bit what's the ROI into it, and how long, like how fast could I achieve what I want with that option, really. Because I don't want to try them all at once. I want to focus on one and see where it goes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's a lot. I think there's a lot out there now. So it's good in some sense. There's people are showing you where to do it with LinkedIn. Someone showing you where to do it with live events. What I would say would, before you go in there, Emily, is get really clear on your strengths. The reason I'm here today doing this is I like it. I've been coaching a while. I've been working with groups a long time, so I think I'm strong in that area, and I think I can offer value just showing up for my AR. So the rest is easy once I got to that clarity. Think, what do you like to do? How do you like to promote yourself? What would be fun way to get your clients, And then when you have that kind of clarity, yeah, these are my strengths, this is what I'm good at, this is what I don't like doing, and this is what I do like doing. Then when you go into that world of options, you've got more of your inner direction rather than everybody competing with voices telling you something different. Oh no, it's this, it's this, it's this.
No, makes sense. Thanks.
Okay, good. If you want to reach out to me privately, there's a couple of different people I have invested in over the years. I could give you my take on that and a little bit more about it if it's helpful. So actions, accountability, support, and we're over time. And I'm sorry if I didn't notice the clock. I think we're actually over the hour. So let's close it up. Anybody? Are we happy with the call? Are we happy with what you're getting from have you got your action steps, your plan, the clarity? Super. If you could put a little bit of feedback in the chat box before we go, that would be amazing. Or just anybody go and tell me your take home from today. Oh, well done, Tina. I'm going to, anybody, what's your take home? What's your take home from the day?
Really useful.
Okay. And for you, you're going to be a little specific. What was useful and what's your take home? Just pick anything at all and just go, yeah, that was Was it clarity? Is it just something we spoke about, or an insight? Sharing from someone else, maybe. I'd like
Hi,
to thank, sorry, Paul, I'd like to thank Emily for that. I love that. I don't want to disappoint my future me. Clarity, interesting person, could be. Paula, now, sorry to interrupt.
No. I think my take home really is, I think I know what to do, or I think I know what to do. I think a lot of it is just starting and going back to the whole thing about being perfect. I don't think anyone, I think I told you the thing I saw about this person who had writer's block. I don't think we become perfect straight away. I've been a recruiter for over 20 years, and I still had to remember how I was when I first started.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the thing, is that it's just starting. It doesn't mean that that you're going to be the best coach straight away, but I think you have to make the start. And going back into what Emily was saying about getting clients, I think a lot of it is about just finding someone, who is happy to have you coach them, and then maybe from there you'll get referrals, and you just see how you go. And I think that's what I need to do. I've done that in other things. I just need to now apply this to coaching.
Okay, so I think you're growing awareness that the internal barriers there are, probably the bigger factor. You know what to do. It's the knowledge gap. I know what to do now is how to but doing it. So keep on keeping on. Ladies, I'm going to let you all go. Sorry, Ben, you want to just go quickly with meetings, and please just clock off. I'll be letting you know about my mentor coaching group session middle of the month. If you're, I presume you're all assigned to my emails. If you're not, okay, you got it. There's a link. Okay, well, I look forward to seeing you on the next thing. Really want to wish you all the best with November. Stick to your actions and have that vision of what you'd like to get, where you'd like to be at the start of December to help guide the ship. And tune in for Momentum December if you can. It was an absolute pleasure having you all. Thank you so much for showing up.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Okay,
Shane.
God bless.
Bye, everyone.
Bye now, everybody.
Bye.